back to Jared Street Motorsports YouTube channel. We are just about ready to start putting a second coat and starting the finishing process of all of the panels that we have done so far. They're all sort of rough cut into place. We'll have to trim and do the final finishing and fit as we get going on these. But we're going to start doing the finishing of it. And the best part about today's video, it'll be a little bit of a quicker video, not super long like the last couple have been. We're going to go ahead and figure out just how much weight we've lost off all the parts. So we're going to take and weigh each of the pieces that we're done with and go ahead and compare them to what we had in the first video. So today's video won't be as long, but it will be a cool insight to see just how much weight we've lost off of the fenders, the hood, all the little front pieces, which we do know already because we weighed those in the last one, and then the trunk and doors. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and get a second layer of epoxy put on this, and we'll be back with the weights here in just a bit. Alright guys, so we've got another layer of epoxy put on to the passenger fender. It looks quite good for just the first coat. Nice and shiny. You can actually see the carbon fiber pop through now. So that's just about ready to go. We may put one more layer on it before we actually start racing because we're going to need it to look decent before we do our decorative layer, because we probably won't have time to do that before we go racing somewhere. So we'll make it look all right, and then by the time we get the decorative layer put on there, she'll look glorious at the end. But I promise you a weight in this video, so we're going to go ahead. I've got one of everything that we're going to have, and we're going to make sure we've lost some weight and see how much weight we have lost. So I have a piece of paper that I wrote down everything on, and that way we can compare. So first piece I've got here is the trunk. Now the trunk is going to have slightly more weight than just this. I've got a couple of hood pins that we're going to be adding to this, so maybe a couple of ounces. But the hood before weighed 31 pounds, and so we've got our scale set up, the smallest we can go, and zeroed out. So let's see where we're at here. If we can get it to balance out. 4.8 pounds. So from 31 pounds to 4.8 pounds, and we will add slightly to that. We will most likely be at about 5 pound range when we add another coat of epoxy onto this. So from 31 pounds to 5 pounds, I'm going to be really happy with that weight loss that we had from the trunk. The doors we'll do next. Now the doors were huge. They had all the glass, all the original hardware and such. We've now got an inner structure put in, so these are super solid. They don't really flex at all, and they're good and strong still. This was 70 pounds before. Now I have 1 pound of hardware that we're going to be using. I actually weighed the hardware. So for the door latch and the striker plate and everything, we're going to be adding about a pound more than what is on here. So let's see where we're at. So 5.4-ish, we'll call 5.4 ounces. So by the time you add the 1 pound for all the stuff, 6.4 pounds. So 6¼ pounds. I'm really happy with that. I can definitely live with that. That's a huge savings. So this door that we're going to be using this year weighs 1/10 of the weight of the factory door, and so that's super exciting. Next one that we're going to weigh is the little grill panel and the headlight panel. This weighs absolutely almost nothing, and it's not even trimmed up yet. But This weighed 14 pounds before, and I'm not sure that this is going to register much, but we are going to give it a shot. Alright, so right at exactly 1 pound. So by the time we trim this up, which we've got to trim up a bunch in here and a bunch over here, and then trim up all the little edges and such, I bet we're going to be right at about 1 pound. So from 14 pounds to 1 pound, that's real good. I enjoy that a lot. The hood. Now the hood, we have made it a little bit stronger than I had intended to before. 42 pounds is where we are at. We do have 2 more hood pins to add to it, so I imagine we will add a few ounces with those. But let's see where we're at currently. So 7.8 pounds. That's pretty good. And the reason we added some more weight into this one is we just added more layers and more structure to this. That way it doesn't move around and vibrate and shake and do anything like that, because this right here sees a lot of air pressure on top of it. Through it, it can move up and down with the hood vents and such, so we just don't want to have any issues with it at any point in time. So by the time we add the other hood pins, we are going to cut a little bit of more material out, so it may be a negligible there, but that in the vents, I think we'll see 8.5 pounds or so. So from, what did I say, 42 pounds? Yes, 42 pounds to 8.5 pounds, so 1/4 of the weight. That makes me quite happy with how we put this one together. And last but not least, we've got the fender. Now this one is pretty trimmed up and almost ready to go. Yep. Our weight scale turned off and make sure we're zeroed out there. Alright, so here we go. We've got a weight on the front fender. Find a spot where I'm not going to have to touch it here. 4.2 pounds. Yeah, or 4.2 ounces, sorry. So right at about 4 pounds. I am quite happy with that, actually. The original fender weight was 20 pounds. So again, we're at right at 1/4 of that weight. So yeah. Not super exciting video today. We really... Alright guys, so I added up everything that we took off and everything that we have now in carbon fiber. So all the parts, the factory pieces, the hood, both fenders, both doors, front headlight panel, and the trunk weighed 267 pounds. Everything that we added up for the carbon fiber stuff, total for it was 35 pounds. So that is a loss of 232 pounds. That's huge, and it has made a lot of the long nights that we put in to do it worth it so far. So still a lot of time to wrap up and finish up everything that we've got. But we're gonna end the video there. I don't want to make it super long with me just rambling. So like, subscribe, share, and then we'll see you in the next one.